We will either collect it ourselves or manage it through our logistics providers and bring it back to our processing plants, which we have several around the world, so a couple in the Middle East, one in Europe, and soon to be 3 in the USA, and looking for other locations where we can place them as well. So we bring it back and it goes through quite a rigorous process, which is actually quite different in the different processing plants we have, to turn it from used garnet, all the other stuff that's found itself into the garnet pile after use, quite often wooden pallets, bits of bags, all sorts of things, and essentially take out all the impurities that have entered the garnet product while it's been used and subsequent to that. Take all that out. We recondition or reprocess the garnet essentially, and then size it again into different product types, and then it's available for sale, normally into a different application than what it went into in the first instance, because the garnet grains do break down a little bit each time it's recycled, which gives you a finer product. This is actually virgin product out of our Port Gregory mine, but we've got our garnet recycling technology now to the point where when we recycle our garnet and it goes through our stringent QA/QC processes, the end product is essentially the same as what comes out of the ground in the first instance. Garnet's actually quite a technical product, and there's a lot of specifications attached to both the use of garnet, but also the garnet itself when it's in a bag. So we make sure that the reprocessed garnet meets all those stringent specifications before it ultimately goes out to customers. So in all respects, it must be the same as our premium product. What that does for our customers, it lowers their disposal costs or eliminates it completely in some instances. And it also can divert about 80% of that used garnet that's collected out of landfill and back into the circular economy. The big step in our recycling model over the last few years is we're now doing wet processing recycling in the USA. And so I talked a little bit before about needing to have that end demand essentially for that recycled garnet is really important to keep that circular economy of garnet going. Wet recycling produces a far superior product to dry recycling, which is how we pioneered the recycling of garnet 20 years ago. And that's the next evolution of our recycling model, which is really exciting. And the quality of product it produces is just fantastic. Water efficiency is a big part of that as well. So do we do that in the Middle East? No, because water's hard to come by there. But in the USA, in the locations where we are, water's somewhat abundant. And it's incumbent on us to be really responsible around how we use that water, how we discharge that water, and manage that as well. We actually do take water from other discharge or water that's in canals nearby where it's essentially storm water, and then we can purify that somewhat. We use reverse osmosis plants in some of our plants as well to make sure that we can use the available water there is wherever we set up that location.